Hey there, folks. Alex here, back again today to do another thread response. Actually, yeah, this time for the Grecian Thunder, his most recent thread, which I think he entitled, was it "Baby's Threado Rituals," or something along those lines. Anyway, but yeah, a thread that's been up now for at least a couple of weeks. I've seen many great responses already, but yeah, I'm finally getting around to doing it, and it's been a thread that's really been on my mind because you know, from watching it first time around, I really enjoyed the questions, so just wanted to give my 2 cents on this. So yeah, I guess I should show you what's playing in the background. This, of course, is Kurt Weill's most recent release, Smoke Ring for My Halo, and this is really great stuff. I mean, definitely an album that's you know, you have to listen to more than once to fully appreciate. And just really digging this. It's awesome stuff. So yeah, I'll get on with my response. Okay then, guys. So yeah, I thought as the first 3 questions of this thread kind of revolve around how you organise your records, I thought it'd be a good idea just to film this with my record collection kind of in the picture. So so yeah, the first thing you probably kind of picked up on here is that my collection is, you know, pretty minuscule, microscopic, in fact, compared to a lot of you guys out there in the vinyl community. I mean, some of you guys have absolutely huge collections, kind of unimaginable for me with a collection this size at the moment. But yeah, you know, I am very envious of all you guys. I mean, it'd be amazing to have that many records and that much choice in what I listen to, you know, in the evenings and stuff. And I have been for some time, you know, but considering, you know, I only started this whole collecting thing in February, back in February, so what's that, 4 or 5 months, you know, that's not too long, not too long ago, so I haven't really been doing this very long. So, you know, with that in mind, you know, I don't think I'm doing badly. I mean, yeah, I think I have something around 75, maybe 80 records here, something around that number. So, and as I say, you know, in pretty much every video, my collection is growing, you know, at a very rapid rate. I mean, if I'd shown you this, you know, a month ago or 2 months ago, it might only be kind of this size. So yeah, you know, maybe by the end of the summer, I hope to kind of fill up this bottom shelf of this bookcase, which looks like at the moment having to maybe double my collection. You know, which should be achievable. Certainly at the rate I'm buying records, it's definitely achievable, and yeah. So yeah, without babbling on too much, I'll get into these questions. The first one Andreas asked was, how do you organise your records? And it's been really interesting watching other responses to this question, because I've always wondered kind of how people organise their records, and basically I do the most common thing, or what I think is the most common thing anyway, and that's just alphabetical ordering. By artist surname. So for instance, I start here with Louis Armstrong, go into the Beatles, Syd Barrett, Black Sabbath, Donovan, Bob Dylan. I'll just show you that's my Bob Dylan collection there, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's just the way I've always done it. I mean, don't really have any need to change that. I mean, if I want to find a record, it's the easiest way I find is just to think of the artist's surname, and it's easy to pick the record out. So yeah, that's how I order them at the moment. Obviously, my collection isn't really big enough to order them by genre or organize them in specific genres. It would just be ridiculous. I'd have like 2 records per genre. So yeah, that's the way I do it at the moment, but who's to say that won't change in the future? I just don't know. Okay, question 2 was, where do you keep them? And in fact, I'll just pan back a bit with this camera so you can see the bookshelf in which I keep my records and a lot of other stuff. So yeah, this is the bookshelf. As you can see there on the top shelf, I've kind of got my CD collection, well, part of my CD collection, and my 45s up there, my 7 inches, and other bits and bobs and odds and ends. Second shelf down, I have DVDs, some of my smaller books, and Xbox games as well, which I'd never ever play. Literally don't have any idea why I still have them. And then the bottom shelf, I have some of my more substantial books down there, and of course my record collection as well. So it's quite nice. I mean, it's quite nice having kind of all of my media piled into one, I guess, all in one bookshelf. It's very convenient, just being able to reach over from my desk and be able to pick out any record or any book or any CD. So, you know, I know a lot of you guys out there have your own dedicated music rooms, and that's something I just aspire to. In the future, I'd absolutely love to have my own a room dedicated to music. It's literally, you know, just like a dream at the moment. But you know, maybe when I move into my house a few years down, you know, move into a house or a flat a few years down the line, I'll, you know, I'll need to think about that. And you know, I know a lot of you guys have kind of this IKEA shelving, and that'd be definitely something I'll be looking into in the future, no doubt. So, so yeah, that's where I keep them. Question 3 was, do you have outer sleeves on your records? And a great question. The deal is that I kind of have, it's kind of a bit hit and miss, I guess. I mean, I have outer sleeves on, I'd say, approximately half of my records at the moment. And the way I got those outer sleeves is I went to visit my grandma, actually, back in February when I was just getting into collecting. And she had some records in her loft that she kept in really good shape, kind of opera and classical stuff. So I wasn't, you know, that much kind of interested in what she had. But the one thing I did kind of pick up on is that she did have outer sleeves on all of her records. So I kind of jumped on that, and she very kindly gave them to me. Obviously, it wasn't enough to cover my whole collection, so. Yeah, I kind of just put the outer sleeves on the records that I guess are nearest and dearest to me, and they're pretty nice outer sleeves. You know, they're not flimsy at all. They're quite sturdy and quite high quality, I guess. I don't know if you can see though. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but I don't know how you kind of describe this effect. That the I guess it's the storing, because. These were stored at my grandma's loft for literally decades. So it's probably that's kind of made them shrink a bit. It's kind of given them this kind of bubble effect, which is a bit annoying. I mean, some are more severe than others, but yeah, that's basically the deal. I have, as I say, about half my records have outer sleeves. I really need to get around to purchasing some more. My local record store doesn't actually have any, which is a bit annoying, but I know you can get them online for kind of like 20 quid for 100, so that's what I'll probably end up doing. And it's a kind of a very high priority of mine, as it is with a lot of you, that to keep my collection in good shape and not batter the records around at all. That's kind of like my worst nightmare. I mean, especially when I move them to uni and eventually into my own place, I want to make sure they're kept in good condition and yeah, and kept intact. So yeah, that's my answer to the first 3 questions. Okay then, guys. So yeah, moving on to question 4 was how do you shop for records? And I don't know how some other people answered this, but I'm kind of interpreting it as like kind of where do you shop for records? I don't know if that's the right way to answer it, but I don't know. I'm just gonna in terms of where do I shop for my records, if I was to do it in kind of a ratio of you know, store against internet, I'd kind of say it's 50-50. It's quite balanced, actually. And the reason I shop quite a lot online is because, I don't know if I've said this in any previous videos, the store I tend to go to, the nearest one to me, is very, very small. It's a tiny shop, really, compared to some of the shops, you know, that I've seen over in the States on videos on YouTube, and some of the other few stores I've been to. It really is very, very small, and also it's not really focused on vinyl. It doesn't specify, you know, it doesn't kind of have a dedicated vinyl section. Well, it does, but it's not very, very significant. The store really focuses in on CD sales and DVD sales, which I think is quite sad, actually. I mean, I think they could make a lot more money if they had more vinyl in there, because you know, especially recently, I've been going in there, and there seem to be more and more people going to the vinyl section, and I don't know if that's, you know, because of the resurgence of vinyl or anything like that, but yeah, it seems to be growing in popularity, definitely, in our town. So yeah, that's I do quite a lot of my shopping there. I mean, I found some good stuff. They tend to have newer releases. They don't have any second-hand records. They only have new releases, and kind of tending towards the popular side of music. But yeah, I found, as I say, I found some good stuff there, and I can't complain. To be honest, I'm just grateful to have a record store in my town. I mean, there's so many cities now that don't have you know, an independent record store, and it's really sad. But yeah, just grateful that we have one in our town. So yeah, do a lot of my shopping there. I mentioned many times before, I shop for second-hand records in our local charity shop, along with, you know, various flea markets and car boot sales that I go to, and the rest is done online on either Discogs or Amazon, or you know, there's a couple of other sites I shop on as well. And I find that it's you can get some real bargains online, but then again, you can get ripped off online as well, especially with shipping. I find it's you know, sometimes a bit pricey, especially Amazon. I find is seriously pricey. You know, Amazon's normally very good at being cheap, you know, having, you know, bargains on CDs and other things, but records seem to be through the roof, some of the prices on there. So, you know, yeah, as I say, it's kind of a 50-50 split between store and internet, but yeah, that's the way it is at the moment. Okay, moving on to question 5. How do you open your records? Just a really simple answer. To be honest, I don't use a special tool or anything like that. I just use a pair of scissors. Seems to work for me every time. In fact, I say every time, but it doesn't always work for me. It sometimes is a bit problematic, actually. I mean, recently I've opened a couple of records, and I've kind of compressed the shrink wrap too much. I don't know what I have to really say this, but it's kind of squashed the record a little bit, the sleeve. So I've kind of damaged a couple of my sleeves by opening the records a little bit heavy-handedly, I guess. But yeah, I'm still using the scissors. It seems like a practical way of doing it. But then there are instances where I leave shrink wrap on my records, like this Black Sabbath, because I just like having the Rhino sticker on there. But yeah, so yeah, guys, that's pretty much my answers. Great thread. Thanks to Andreas for putting it up. As I said, it's been up for a while, and sorry, this is a very belated reply, but yeah, I hope my answers were up to scratch, and yeah, I might do another video later tonight or maybe tomorrow concerning this community love that's been so great. I mean, it's been awesome watching all of you guys posting these shout out videos and just showing your love and appreciation of the vinyl community. It's great to see, and as I say, I might be back tonight or tomorrow to contribute to that whole, you know, love train thing that's been going on. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.